Ghanaians find ourselves today, and the conditions are dire. If we fail to do something now, today, this time, all of us are going down. So we need to see this as a crisis, as an emergency. And it is not just about the Bank of Ghana. What is happening at the Bank of Ghana is a symptom of the real problem. So as we focus attention on the Bank of Ghana, it's important that we focus attention on everything that is happening in Ghana. The statistics have been thrown at us. We know that today we need 128% of total national revenue to repay debt, to pay interest on debt, and to pay public sector workers. What else paints the picture of the situation in which we find ourselves today? We are dead broke. When we repay debts, when we service debts and pay public sector workers, we cannot buy a bottle of water. That is the state of the Ghanaian economy. But you know, friends, all of us have been here. All of us have heard the different arguments and so on. The Electoral Commission messes up. If you complain, they come and say, we are independent. Bank of Ghana messes up. When you complain, their refrain is that we are independent. All of these constitutional bodies, when they mess up, their excuse is that they are independent. Independent of what and from what? That's the question we should be asking. Is there a constitutional body that can act against the interests of the people of Ghana? Certainly no. There shouldn't be any constitutional body that is above the people of Ghana. So all of these institutions, Bank of Ghana, Electoral Commission, NCCE, and so on, are subject to the will of the Ghanaian people, and their independence does not matter. Their independence does not give them powers above those that are expressed in the sovereignty of Ghana. Now, what is happening? There are some things that I can never understand. Maybe the academics and lawyers and so on can understand. We elect a government. The leader of that government then decides to appoint somebody to go to the Bank of Ghana to serve the interests of the people of Ghana. And all of a sudden we are told that those who were elected and mandated by the people of Ghana cannot tell the governor what to do. What nonsense is that? And we have allowed this to persist. And we defend it. And we justify it. We elected a president. We will elect another president very soon. We will keep electing presidents. Those presidents cannot be subordinate to any of the appointees. And we must make that point quite clear. This nonsense, absolute nonsense, of the independence of the Bank of Ghana and its governor and so on must be thrown into the waste paper basket, must be thrown into the dustbin. It has no relevance to our history. In whatever we do, it is the will of the people which must matter. In whatever we do, it is that taxi driver, that nika operator, that truck bar operator, it is their will, their interest, which must move us forward, and not the interest of some God-forsaken academics whose only boast is that they went to Harvard and they have doctorates in economics and so on. Nonsense. Why? All of those universities and all of those degrees have not prevented the city from losing value, From 4 cedis, 20 pesos to $1. Today, we are exchanging the cedi at 12 cedis to $1. No Harvard degree managed to stop this. So don't waste our years with your Harvard degree. We don't care. Why? The price of food has risen by 300% in a matter of 2 years. Price of food has risen by 300% in a matter of 2 years. Look at the price of petrol. Look around you. The other time I was telling the story of somebody I knew who fell sick and had to be admitted at one of these hospitals. After 21 days in hospital, his bill was 178,000 Ghana cedis. This is our situation. If your mother falls sick and after 3 weeks has to pay 178,000 cedis, your mother will die. How many Ghanaians can afford that? This is the crisis we are talking about. Clear. It is not difficult at all. Today, a ball of kenke is 5 cedis. Fish no come yet. And I have a friend who eats 6. I am not joking, and I'm not exaggerating. When he has to eat KK, 6 balls. Bernard says he also eats 6. But, dear friends, this guy, 6 balls in the morning. He has clocked 30 cedis already. Let's say the wife is a moderate eater, the wife will eat 1. 35 cedis. He has 3 children. How much? How much? We have reached 50 cedis already. Oh. Fish hasn't come. Pepper hasn't come. Extra onions no come yet. And that is just for the morning, for breakfast. So what happens in the afternoon? What happens in the evening? This family, do they drink water? Do they pay electricity bill? Do they pay rent? This is the crisis we are in, and we ought to get out of this crisis. Now, how do we get out of this crisis? We get out of this crisis by confronting today in the hope that the confrontation that we have with today will lead to improvements tomorrow.
I think maybe it was a misunderstanding, but if you look at it in line with the 22nd December Memorandum of Understanding that we had, that we signed with organized labor associations, governments, pension funds were exempted, as you know, and that has not changed. It's therefore really not correct to say that we are planning a second round of domestic debt exchange program with pension funds. What we are doing is working with them on how they can further help government to reduce the debt servicing and ensure that we maintain sort of the debt sustainability, which was in the MOU agreement. And so those discussions are continuing.
So, excuse me.
I've said it, and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money, not in government.
We're looking at the functions of the Bank of Ghana and where they faltered. And as the title goes, they said the collapse of Bank of Ghana. And I said Bank of Ghana has not collapsed in structures, but they've collapsed in functions. Because as we speak now, the purpose, the core mandate, which is to control, inflation, I mean, they're not able to handle it because of the messed up. Whilst they're giving money at one side of the economy, they're fighting inflation on the other side of the economy. So fighting inflation has become a stalemate. And by, that we can say that Bank of Ghana has collapsed in functions. They're not functioning very well, as expected.
So the issue of printing of money by Bank of Ghana, which many argue that is against the Financial Management Act, because they did not seek approval from Parliament. Yes. So I don't know what your views are on this issue.
Yeah. So Bank of Ghana printing money. Nobody is saying that it's a bad thing to print money, because normally, when economies are down, when economies are in recess, the Bank of Ghana, which is supposed to be a banker of last resort, are relied on to re-energize the economy. But as the process of printing the money, and then after the printing, how the money was dispersed into the economy is where, we the economists are questioning.
Will you say the only option left is for the Bank of Ghana and his deputies to resign?
Of course. I mean, mismanagement, you see, finance, laws, and then economics go together. And if it turns up that you are not doing well in terms of, keeping to the laws and regulations, which has to, ensure that the finance does well, obviously you must go.
Are you suggesting that the financial market will respond positively if they resign?
Of course, the uncertainty clouding on our economy is so huge. I mean, even the presence of the finance minister, together with, the Bank of Ghana boss, I think he gave too much respect to the finance minister. Upon that, whatever he requests, he seemed to, respond to it. And it's quite problematic because it compromises the central bank's, which we have been talking about. And the independence we're looking at is operational independence, which was the last straw we're holding on. Because if you look at the structures of our, banking system, the governor must be appointed by, the president, which in the end, the governance, independence has been compromised one way or the other. Because if I appoint you, obviously you must do my bidding one way, or if you're not strong enough. So effectively, I mean, it tells you that on that score, we've compromised the governance autonomy. But the last straw we're holding on was the operational autonomy, which, I mean, we've been, expecting the Bank of Ghana to keep to it. But this time, it didn't go well. And, that's why we're calling the head of the governor.
Okay, thank you. As you're calling for I think
filed an application for an injunction. The court has not heard it. The court has not granted it. So really, nothing stops us from demonstrating on September 5th. Nothing stops us. We will have to go to court, and if the court grants their application before we will consider that there's an issue. So far as we are concerned, they've just applied. Doesn't mean the court will grant it. And, the reasons they have given, very spurious reasons. You can't say that you fear there will be a coup. Everybody in this country knows that you can't use the threat of a coup as a reason why we cannot exercise our democratic rights. In the countries where they have coups, it's because people are not allowed to exercise their democratic rights. That's why the military intervene. But if you make sure that people enjoy their rights, they express themselves, there's wrongdoing, it is exposed, and there is a struggle, relentless struggle until the malfeasance is corrected. The system will correct itself, and then it will move on.
You will be going to court on Monday. What exactly?
Well, I mean, if somebody applies to the court for your action to be restrained, you have to go and respond. So we will file our response, and we'll go and then let the judges know that even though the law gives them the power to apply to the court, and they have indeed applied, that the grounds on which they are applying are unsustainable. You can't say that there's a lot of traffic in town and that people are carrying out business and will disrupt business and etc. Wherever you pass, there will be business and your activity will disrupt that business, wherever you pass in Accra.
The issue in contention is the venue for the demonstration. Are you ready to soften your stance, for instance? Because they are talking about national installations and all that.
Where is there no national installation? Where we are standing is a national installation. The university building is a national installation. I mean, you can't claim that a place is a security zone. A security zone has to be designated by law. You can't just say that a building, a Bank of Ghana offices are security zones. What makes them security zones? A human.
Nti sankofo so obia so twero ndi on fa nipa miensa nka no no onfro ka mra goso na udi ka skaba da japan so ha no mesra no on hwe sabe mere eye ya otimi wo Jesus ma yen won ma confusion bia ma o ma no mra ba fa oba so mesra no so tiamia on sesa saa asem na waka no no ma emmen no bia ntimi nkotwero didin efia wanhwe yi a no obi wo sika wo ba bia wo wa akiri nti so no akofa bus e de so ankofo mo mbeto abetwero mo din kwa na chese wo so mto abama no e bia no saa nipa no susu kra ne empedo nso wona na wo sika ye koto abano ma no wie no okototo pa so a na ye ho anu aye ye keta hye no aye ka no a eno a na ne ye da so aye ka masre afa mi a me papa mesre no nanado mpane chew me sada me sayam ontwe ne hu mfiri ne jefo asem mesre no ontwe ne hu mfiri ho if se obia free se Nigeria for the soldier for ba ya de baba Ghana country bia o support bia on the soldier for no baba Ghana ha ana o ma free ha akọ je ho enanu ya kura mpa omunya mfa ma ye hweje ne bo ya tinsuom so ya ntiri nua je ne ye hweje ne bo ti abasre so omunu asoja fo no ntena se na nhihye bia wo so omunu ye nya ya sondwie no ye ntena ya sondwie mu saa.
I think that the most effective way that we can have a debt portfolio for our country that is sustainable is to make sure that the NDC loses this election in December. Kicking out the NDC will be the surest way we can to protect the debt structure of our country. Why do I say that? In the 4 years in which they have been in power, they have more than tripled our national debt from 9 billion cedis, which was at the end of Kufuor's period, to 28 billion cedis today. In the 4 years of the NDC administration, they have contracted more debt than all the governments of our country, from Kwame Nkrumah right down to John Ajekum Kufuor.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi, inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Friday, the first day of September 2023. By His grace, we're live and we're here with yet another edition of the show. Our gratitude to God, the Most High God, for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making the rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. Well, let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Emoluments for Article 71 of its holders. S. Gracia demands debate. President Akufo-Addo. Court orders OSP to return Cecilia Dapa's assets. Leaked tape doctored. COP Mensa tells Parliament Committee. TBSC semi-finals today. ACUC, GCTU make maiden appearance. Talency, rock shelters, shrines and gold. Daily Guide. Return Cecilia Dapa's cash. Court orders OSP. My voice is on the tape. No runoff. Adenimo joins November 4 race. Let's strengthen ties to combat terrorism. New Weekend Crusading Guide. S. Gracia resurfaces as Akufo-Addo sets up 5-member committee to determine emoluments, privileges of Article 71 of his holders. Regional Minister begins probe into Edwajiri shootings. Bawumia is ideal flag bearer for NPP's victory 2024. David Asante Boatin. Electrocam's entry into salt industry transformative to ecosystem. Trade Minister. GGSA trains 40 journalists on earthquake and seismic activities. Coming up, luggage fiasco at Ethiopia Airlines. The Insight. Historian says Danko Abuzia tradition unknown to NPP. Nkrumah, how a champion motion for Ghana's freedom before UK's House of Commons. Why Ghana and other emerging markets and developing countries must join BRICS. Sharon Dede Paddy honored with 2 awards for promoting the arts and championing feminism. Mass protests against foreign forces intensify in Niger as September 2 deadline for withdrawal of French troops approaches. Protests break out in Libya over rumors of normalization with apartheid Israel. The Informer. Appointment of Manibo Aman as Elections and IT Director. Mahama orchestrates own defeat as Edwin Ketia. Third, ICARE saves General's vision difficulties. Article 71 of his holders, Bruhaha, Akufo-Addo to resolve deadlock. NPA cylinder project takes off today. Zoop Kit CSR project benefits 500,000 children. Commentary, NDC, a party of intellectuals now taken over by arrogant jokers. The Inquisitor, at long last, Wagadre Nam1 fixed. Minority condemns police injunction against its Bank of Ghana protest. Magdan's biggest salt mine in Africa comes alive. Chumberima praises Napo. Simple question, who in Jubilee House is operating an advertising to public relations outfit with a daughter and creaming huge government deals and arranging celebrity visits to the presidency for cash? That's a simple question by the Inquisitor. The Herald. Naked envy and sheer arrogance on display at IGP coup plot probe as retiring senior police officer picks and chooses his own questions. GMPC Gensad Energy report cooked. Truth behind Atachen's controversial findings out soon. NPP cancels Boache Jako, a Dynamo runoff. Akufo-Addo happy with McDonald's $88 million on the salt fields. The record is not over yet. OSP tells court and Cicely Adapa over seized money. The Daily Statesman, whose offer falls hope Kofi Abuchi. Committee taxed the Article 71 office holders emoluments. Otunfo reposes confidence in CJ. DDEP, over 90% participation recorded in dollar-denominated pension funds. Eastern Region RECSEC launches investigation into a Dragiri chieftaincy clash. The Finder, returned Apa's monies in 7 days, court orders, but the OSP disagrees and vows to fight. Leak tape on IGP edited, COP Mensa claims. Cylinder recirculation model starts today. Access Bank Ghana and Deloitte partner to strengthen SMEs. Daily Post. COP Alex Mensah doesn't mean well for police service, Professor Enin. Minority vows to protest against Bank of Ghana governor despite police injunction. I have no capacity for organizing coups, but I cannot stop one. Kwesi Pratt Jr. Gabon coup, a wake-up call for the Electoral Commission of Ghana ahead of 2024 elections. Anthony Akwe. And the paper has a food for thought. And it quotes Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan. Says there's no power higher than the power of the people. And finally, the good old Catholic standard. Review governance system in Africa. Catholic bishops. Nuncio presides over Sunyani Jubilee Grotto Mass. Adopt more effective approach to teaching catechesis. The active voice of peace and reconciliation. Pope Francis, new environment exhortation to be released on October 4. And that's about it. For the front pages, we'll be back shortly.
Here, TV, fridge, freezer, air condition, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, and iron. Seven Hisense smartphone is yeah, titis more than a Hisense factory direct promo. It's in your madada noa, Emma light bill kuno. Fasi baby, never jeffo. Everything 28 August, I copy him 2nd September. Be way showroom no. Saturday at no. Sana yet on. Wait dear, ya tetiswa broso. Who? Hisense. Everyday prices for everyday people.
Inside Black Star Press Limited, grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. Where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly. Betway. Bet your way.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and couple the makers in
The pneumatological aberration of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited, up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
Shusha the Makers Electronics Company Limited. Ewo Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasama Zongo Junction. Edike Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafu Bwachi Hospital Junction. Sakrani. Kuma. Number 9 Market.
To and tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program.
From 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
My name is John, and this is my long-time crush, my cookie dipped in strawberry yogurt. On this scorching hot afternoon on our way back from a long job hunt, we met this good Samaritan who offered us 6 weeks later.
A special wedding reception for our bride and groom.
And there she is, my cookie, dipped in someone else's yogurt.
Who holds the moolah, holds the shot. Play game by games, the easiest lottery to play and win. Pick 4 numbers from 0 to 9 up to 3 times daily to become one of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now, or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority.
Yamawako about the button Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories. Ahadie, a bando care says, near Wakadia. Ubenya Biwaha. Care Bian how any new here. Yansu ye were winning the four or best son we amount. Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories, ye jume did ye. 24/7. Ye says engine, brake, battery, yes, a sour tie. Say bando car wash dia. Yewo abefun fidie bi te say steamer ye de horo car engine abra nsuo nko engine nim. Ye san ye detailing metre say ye betwitwu car no mu ba bia ma o. Ye wi a ya san polish o car na ma o kama. Enye we no monko ye san to car batteries, tires, rims, any de keke kan. Manadum Auto Fix and Accessories Emma o car ensi ne dadem na enwu adwuma ma o. Hwehwe ye chira kwan wo dansuma na sorry dan ho a any KFC bon hwani mu e won kran. Se wo information anansem bi se bia 024-651-9369. Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories. O kwan so yonko papa.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. And it's the first day of the 9th month of the year. And gradually, 2023 is rolling to an end. But let me remind you that if you want to secure your future, as far as higher education is concerned, do so with the Accra Business School. You can boost your career with their prestigious MSc degrees from KNUST. You can choose from Human Resource Management, Communication, International Marketing, International Relations, Public Affairs, or IT Management. In just 12 months, IMBA can be yours. Dive into our BSc programs in IT Security and Cybercrime, IT Management and Business Management endorsed by top universities in Ireland and Wales. And the Accra Business School offers flexible entry payment and learning options convenient to you. It's time to unlock your potential and take position. Visit www.abs.edu.gh or call the Accra Business School on 0263 888 555 or 0263 888 666. Visit the campus at Spintex Road, Christ Square, and let Accra Business School elevate your future today. And what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, has got the mullah, got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on their website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some mullah. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mullah, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority and is not for persons under the age of 18. Play responsibly. And as you grow and as you age and as the physical infirmities set in, it becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use the stairways day in and day out. And the enjoyment of those mansions and stories, the high-rise buildings that you've put up and the offices becomes a problem. But you need not worry any longer, because with the portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, that's PVs, you're sure of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a simple-to-use self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with a wheelchair accessibility to choose from. You may call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home or the office. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days with modifications to your building. Visit Lifts and Elevators Ghana at Sakumono for your solutions and free consultations. You can reach Lift and Elevators Ghana on 0200-535-515 or email at elevatorsgh@gmail.com. All right. So with me on the show this morning is a man who's not been here in a long while. Now guess what? He can be described as the second generation of Good Morning Ghana. He actually was the one who took over from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the Friday slot when he had to move on to become a running mate. And so he replaced His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on the Friday slot with Honorable Akomia. He's a former cabinet minister. He's a member of parliament for the Boku Central constituency, and he's a legal practitioner, Harvard trained as such, and is here with me on the show. The Honorable Mahama Ayariga. Good morning.
Good morning. The surprise says you should stop mentioning the Harvard. But it doesn't stop the city from depreciating.
Well. Ivy League and its troubles as far as the economy is concerned. I can understand him. Okay. Also with me on the show is a Japanese trained. Okay. He's not Ivy League. He's a Yokohama League. Okay. So a Japanese trained technical advisor to the vice president. And he's also busy. The big announcement will come soon. He wants to be a loyal and a disciplined party member. And so he's just waiting. But he's in all white today, from head to toe. Okay, I'm sure everywhere. Everywhere is white, including his teeth. Okay, he just needed to change his spectacles, and I've been on no white affair today. Dr. Tia Abdul Kabiru Mahama is here with me on the show this morning. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Doc.
And congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I see you excited.
Yeah, probably with that explains why I'm in all white today.
It's not probably.
Though
it's not
brother
probably.
is
It is the case.
Yeah. And today happens to be Friday as well, so
yeah, Juma.
Juma, so we are preparing to go for Juma prayer.
Okay. Have you ever been to Umrah? You've done Hajj, right?
Yes.
But have you done Umrah?
So as part of the Hajj processes, you have to do Umrah.
Okay.
But of course, Umrah can be held at any time of the year. For
beyond the Hajj.
Beyond the Hajj. So actually, I've not done
yet.
Umrah beyond the Hajj.
You're still a baby.
I think so.
Anyway, but how did it go? How did it go on Saturday? I've not heard you. I've read bits of interviews you've granted. But let me take your
so
on
Saturday
and all the issues arising out of it.
Yeah, Saturday the new patriotic party, in accordance with Article 13 thereabout of the Constitution, held the Super Delegates Conference. The essence of the Super Delegates Conference is to prune down the number, whatever, if there are more than 5 to 5. And this year's Super Delegate Conference was to decide on the fate of some 10 people who had presented themselves to be elected or to represent the party after the whole processes. And on Sunday, the exercise was held across the country peacefully. I monitored the processes from Nalero in the Northeast region, where the regional center was at the Nalero Senior High School. At the end of the day, the vice president emerged victorious, and with some 68% of the total votes of about 950 to 60 delegates. Now, the takeaway from that whole process is to underscore the fact that, first and foremost, the party did an extremely good job because the process was held across the country without any problem, or with little, if you like, if there's any hitches. Then the Electoral Commission also conducted the affairs in line, together with the election committee of the new patriotic party very well. And these two bodies needs our commendation, because when you have such a national exercise, an exercise whereby the fate of leaders who are to lead the new patriotic parties is to be determined, you would expect professionalism in the conduct of the election. So at the end of the day, the Electoral Commission did a very good job. The party election committee did a very good job. And I will also use this platform to congratulate all the aspirants, those people who made it to the top 5 and those who couldn't make it. It's not easy to present yourself to be judged, if you like, and to assess and giving you a mandate to represent the new people. So all those who contested, And if you indulge me, I just want to mention all of them. Alan Chiramante, Ajoko, Kennedy Ajapong, Mr. Kwabena Ajapong, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's victories especially was overwhelming. And I have never seen, since 1992, a party in its superdelegates conference or in the nature, because this superdelegate conference started after the 2007 experience, but a first-time candidate pulling close to 70%, almost 2/3 of the votes, and the remaining 1/3 is given to the other candidates, the 9 of the other candidates to share. That is a very significant victory, and I will single out Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his team for mention and to congratulate them for that massive victory. But you know, the concerns people have had over this election is that this is just superdelegates conference, and the essence is not to elect who to lead the party, but essentially to reduce the number to 5. That is a very valid argument. But before the idea of superdelegates conference, this electoral college was the electoral college that was determining who represent the MPP in the election. So at the end of the day, whatever happens, there's some pattern. Whenever the superdelegates conference settle on a candidate, the likelihood, 99% confidence, we are 99% confident that that person is going to lead us into the election. So what happened on Saturday?
It's only happened once. So maybe you don't have a trend per se.
No, but I am making the point that has been the determinant of who leads the party before the superdelegates idea of superdelegates conference came into being. Okay, so whenever they settle on someone, that person is the choice of the people. So that's the first point I'm making, and I'm saying that we've had some precedent. At least there's one precedent to tell that if what happened in the case of Nana Akufo-Addo and the rest, in regarding the superdelegates conference is anything to go by, we will expect that the vice president, because there's no other person with that history than the vice president in the context of the president. Of course, it is only one it has happened only once, and one can, reasonable exercise caution that once it happened only once, you may exercise some caution in terms of the generalization, in terms of having sensitive. But we have no doubt in our mind that the voice of the superdelegates conference is actually resonating with the voice of the grassroots, because they are mindful of the fact that they represent the people. A chairman from Bunkuru coming to vote is mindful of the fact that I'm representing the people, the electors and the delegates in Bunkuru constituency. So any decision I take will have implication on what the people want. Of course, I'm not also downplaying people relation with other candidates, and they may tend to jettison the collective interest or the voice of their grassroots and go to take their own decisions.
But for example, yesterday I was given an example. Was it yesterday? No, I think Tuesday. No, it should be yesterday. That if you took, let's say, a chairman, for example, they're supposed to have 1,900 in the November 4.
Yeah.
But because they don't have a sitting MP, it's only one person from a chairman who exercises the vote, the party chairman. And so, for example, there will be 1,900 of constituents from a chairman. So you obviously cannot use maybe even the voting preference of that one person to judge how 1,900 persons from a chairman will vote.
That is to the extent that the voting preference of the chairman is personal, not a reflection of what the people want.
Yes.
Okay, if we are making that assumption, then it is a valid assumption. But my belief is that chairmen don't represent themselves. Okay, they represent the people. And you cannot go to exercise, just like members of parliament, okay, they represent their constituents.
Yes.
And their voting pattern mostly should be reflective of the views of the people they represent.
I'm happy with what you said. Should.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the ideal. So any person who happens to vote,
yes,
not to the interest of the people he or she represents, it is just, you are just preparing some ground for, revolt by your people, because anytime you take a decision that is personal but not in consonance with what your people want, you are just preparing yourself for disaster. Right. So at the end of the day, when the vice president won, I think there have been some few incidents of, I mean, some candidates haven't been comfortable with the process. The case of Ashanti region. And Bawumia virtually lost about 2 votes because I know the 2 people who did not vote or were probably, I mean, I'm for certain that they are Dr. Bawumia's
they didn't show up.
One person came late and the other person voted, the youth organizer. But because they just voted and held the ballot this way, it was interpreted to mean showing. When you had the cameras and everyone there really could not see the one the person had voted for, but I just folded the ballot and showed it this way, probably to demonstrate that I'm voting or to take a picture with his vote, whatever it was, or the cameras to capture it. That was interpreted to mean showing the vote. It was cancelled. The Bawumia team never raised an issue about it. They allowed the Electoral Commission.
The guidelines were clear.
The guideline was clear that you shouldn't go to the center, don't take a picture of the vote, and do not show your vote.
Yes.
But from all intent and purpose, showing, the essence of showing is to suggest that don't let anyone see the one you have voted for.
But why would you raise the paper if
Of
that's
course,
not the
look,
intent?
when the president voted, and he was even putting it, we saw how he put it. So it was clear that the president voted and he put it inside the box.
Yes.
But if I voted and I folded my ballot paper, just showed it that, look, I have voted, I have exercised my power. That is it. People raised issue with it. The team, the Bawumia team was calm. They allowed the process to go and the vote was cancelled. In the Northeast region, where I was part, people were voting. I mean, similar like what was happening in Ashanti region. Someone will vote and fold it and like just to demonstrate that I've exercised my power and go and put it. Each time someone comes to vote, Alan Chairman's candidate, agent, will raise an issue. Okay, it was persistent until the youth organizer for the constituency was coming to vote, just like the Ashanti, for the region, just like the Ashanti Regional Youth Organizer. Then that was where the scuffle started. Okay, he was going to prevent him from putting it, but the fact that, in fact, he had alleged that he had shown it to some other person. The police was there, the Electoral Commission was there, and he was the only one who saw him showing it to another person. There were other agents of the other candidates there. So he confronted him. In fact, he was even the first person to even push him. Virtually, he knocked him. Then he retaliated, and that was why the fight actually started. And they took the Cherponich MP to come in, and then the police to come in and separate.
But I've heard the agents for Honorable Kennedy Japan, who also spoke to things that happened in the same place, the Northeast, who said that in view of that, they even refused to sign, and that they were virtually held hostage. He's held a presser. I can show you the video.
You see
that they were virtually held hostage, and they were not allowed to go. And he's mentioned those who were responsible for that.
His account is total false. I listened to him as well.
Okay.
And I was in the hall. I saw. He wasn't his Ganyu. I saw Ganyu. He sat through the process calmly. He observed the process, and the signing of the ballot papers, of the results, came at the latter part. That was around 2 p.m. Okay, and he even referenced that as the reason why they call Mr. Kennedy Agyapong. In fact, Mr. Kennedy Agyapong at best started even before voting had ended. Okay, so his account couldn't be the fact because his candidate was there. There was nothing. He never raised any issue about the process. It was Mr. Alan Chairman's candidate, agent, who raised issues about the process. And at the end of the day, it was even solved. Richard Miyama was there. The issue was solved. They never raised any issue. And there are processes for filing complaints. None of them has asked for that particular process to be invoked. Then when the process started, I was there when they counted. The chairman had asked that people should come and sign, and they said they will not sign. In any case, signing of the results does not make signing does not invalidate or validate the results. The Electoral Commission has a right, if any agent refuses to sign, to go ahead with the declaration of the results, and then if there's any complaint, you raise it. Okay, but my mind is that all this was an attempt to create the sense that the 100% that was gotten in the Northeast region was not secure democratically, was not secure legitimately, and that sense has been created. It's rather unfortunate that the delegates or some of the delegates in the Northeast region they fell into that trap. Because when Mr. Kennedy's Ajapong person, she was not even an agent. She was not even within the inner perimeter. She came outside of the voting area. I was in the car granting interview. I was on news file with my brother on that Saturday. I was in the car granting interview. Then she came out. Then she started shouting that the ballot box was being stuffed, that they are stuffing the ballot box. Imagine how could they have stuffed 28, register process of voting. 28 delegates were to vote in the Northeast region. And you think that someone will go and stop the 28 people and the identity of the 28 people cannot be traced, that these 28 people are all here, they have all voted, and if there's any excess, we cannot determine. But he raised that allegation. And that allegation was the basis for Mr. Kennedy Ajapong's outburst. Okay, because once I was still there, they were even, the youth didn't understand. She spoke for close to 1 minute. Then they were now rushing on her. And we even took some of us around to say, don't touch her, because if you do anything, that's going to take away the shine of the whole victory. And we stopped any attack on Mr. Kennedy's Ajapong's candidate. But her utterances actually infuriated many people around, because if I have my supporters around and you can't make wild allegations suggesting that the process as the people are voting is not right, is not legitimate, people will be angry. But we stopped any attack, and she was not even touched. Then immediately I went into the hall. Someone showed me the video of Mr. Kennedy Ajapong threatening a showdown. Okay, and his candidate was not, his agent was not attached, was not interrupted through the process.
But his agent has said that he was held hostage, and that he believes that it is the showdown threat which saved their lives, because that is what then led to. And
I'm saying that he's wrong, because the showdown statement came in when we were still voting, and the alleged of hostage came after the voting, when they were asked to sign. So the timelines don't match. So when he said that, that's what I'm saying, that it is totally not true that that threat of showdown was what probably had.
It's not. Is the home region of Vice President Bawumia?
That is the home region of Dr. Bawumia.
And got 100%.
It got 100%.
So not a single party person voted for anybody else.
Not any. They don't have any reason why they should vote against Dr.
Not even
Bawumia.
one. Not vote against him, but vote for any other person. Not even one.
Not even one. None of the candidates got any vote there apart from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Okay. Yeah, that shows the level of trust. Okay. The work he's done in the region, the faith that people have in the vice president, and when people begin to, in fact, other candidates made effort to just get one single vote to demonstrate that, look, even in your home region, some people are against you. Okay, that didn't happen, and the frustration of the people around there. But yeah, can't even think of it. Even in those people who are raising this in their home regions, the vice president beat them. Okay, so it's not the case that the Northeast region results. If other regions,
is Northeast the only region that voted 100%?
It's the only region that voted 100%. Okay, we have other regions 95%, 90%, 80%, some 50%. Okay, except the Ahofo region or so. And then central region and probably the OT region, where we have, on the league, they are at the bottom. But the assurance we have from these regions is that, look, we'll prove you wrong in the main delegates conference, because we don't want our names to be associated with to be at the bottom of the league.
What's wrong with that?
Because of course they want to be part of the victory. Okay. They want to present the NPP as a more, a broad-based party. If you are able to comport, behave well, and show your competence, you have the potential of leading the party. They don't want it to be like it's an exclusive preserve of some category of people in the Ghanaian society. That is the whole essence. So Saturday's process was very good. We are happy with the results. And as I said, no leader of the NPP in his first attempt has garnered more vote than Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That shows that the victory was massive. People would attribute various. Some people say he's the vice president, so he's likely the assistant. The former vice president, Ali Muhammad, was the sitting vice president when he contested. But he never had a vote. And I've had occasion to mention that, look, his victory was not because he was the vice president. It is largely and mainly because of how he has conducted himself, his competence, his demeanor in government, his approach to issues, his broad-based appeal to everyone as what has garnered this vote. So tomorrow, I mean on Saturday, the last issue I just want to comment on is on the process of the 2 people who couldn't make it. At the end of the day, Mr. Ajako has decided to withdraw from the process. He has raised issue about where the National Council should be the determiner of who vote. But the truth is that, per the party constitution, the second highest decision-making body, apart from Congress, is National Council. Okay, and where you have...
Okay, I can appreciate the fact that you are not a lawyer.
When you have constitutional...
Just be careful.
No, that is a higher decision-making, unless, of course...
No, I'm not disputing.
Exactly.
But
so,
the decision-making is founded on law.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean that you can oust the constitution, and because you're a decision-making body, you can go and create your own set of laws.
You see, if the MPP had taken a decision to say that the 2 people should be dropped leaving 4, they have been altering a provision of the constitution.
Yes.
Because that says that you should shortlist them to 5. Yes. But the constitution is silent.
On what?
On when there is a tie between 2 people.
It's not going to read it.
I've read the constitution, and I'm saying that where the people are raising issue is the guidelines. Okay.
Yes.
The guidelines where the presidential committee, the election committee presented, they presented a guideline and suggested that where there is tie between 2 people, the runoff shall be organized for those 2 people. But it is not in the constitution.
Yes.
Okay. So I am very clear of this point that it is not in the constitution, and the conduct of the National Council is not at variance with the provisions of the MPP constitution. People may raise issue. Why do you provide guidelines? Along the line, you truncate those particular guidelines. You set aside the guidelines and take a different. People may raise any issues with that. But when it comes to the constitution of the MPP, not even a single provision has been breached by the decision of the National Council to let the final outcome or the fate of the 2 people to be determined by National Congress. So that part should also be mentioned. At the end of the day, 4th November is at the corner. We are appealing, and we are hoping that what happened will repeat itself in November.
So let me ask you a question. The guidelines emanating from the constitution of the party, who did this? Who came out with the guidelines?
The guideline was presented by the Presidential Election Committee.
Okay.
They came out with the guidelines.
Approved by the National Council.
Approved by the National Council.
So the National Council approved that. They approved a guideline which says that in the event of 2 or 3 or 4 contestants sharing the total results, with the remaining contestants not obtaining any votes, there will be a runoff for those who obtain 0 votes to add up to the number to make up the 5. In the event of a tie between 2 or more candidates for the 5th position, a runoff election will be conducted for those who will tie on Saturday, 2nd September 2023. So the National Council approved this. For as the regulations for the election.
Exactly.
Why have they decided to change it?
Yeah, so party policy, in the context of public policy, if you like, the reasons could occasion the National Council taking a decision or setting aside the previous decision. Because as long as that decision was taken by them...
But in elections, this is the decision taken before the contest.
I agree.
This was what everybody signed up to. This was the understanding that in the event of this is what is going to happen. Do you change the rules in the middle of the game?
No, that's not the consideration of the fact that people had planned for certain processes and had made resources or even every arrangement for it, and you change it. People have genuine concern. And that was the point I acknowledged.
Those were the rules that were set.
That's the point. But I'm saying that those rules are subject to the authority of National Council.
In the middle of the contest?
Whether in the middle, whether if the party felt that the decision we took is not helping party policy, is not helping party unity, they can call for a consensus, and that's what it's not going to be. They are going to debate on it and settle on it. National Council is not only one person, it's not the chairman, it's not the president or whosoever. It's a collective decision of everyone who represent a constituent. Okay? So they can change the rule to the extent that it is not a constitutional provision that will require them to do an amendment to the constitution.
But the delegates, those who determine the election, the special delegates, the delegates is a constitutional dictate.
Exactly.
You're saying that in determining this same 5, because the runoff is part of the determination of the 5, that the National Council can decide to vary the delegates list as indicated in the Constitution.
This is the catch. The Constitution has provided that where there are more than 5, do a super delegates conference for us to determine who wins.
Yes.
It leaves it at that.
Yes.
And it has not gone ahead to say that.
No, hold on. And then, in anticipation that there's a possibility that the election could lead to even one person getting 100% of the votes, and you therefore not having five persons, you create a guideline out of the Constitution which says that in the event that you don't get the 5, even if the others go 0-0-0, you will still have an election again to be able to determine who will join whoever got the votes to make it 5.
Yeah, per the guidelines.
In the event that, I'm saying that this is guidelines to give effect to the Constitution. Yeah. In the event that there is a tie to determine, let's say, who becomes 5th, as in the case, you would also do the same thing. There will be a voting again to determine who then, to break the tie. Okay. Then you're saying that despite the fact that these regulations have been approved by the National Council, which says that, look, we're going into this thing. If these situations arise, this is how we'll do it. This is a regulation. It's been signed off by everybody. Once it is occasioned, the National Council can go back again and say that we are changing our minds. We'll change the Electoral College.
No. Electoral College cannot be changed. For as long as it is provided for in the Constitution, they can only change it if they come through constitutional amendment. That's the first thing I want to make. But where...
So educate me. The Special Electoral College, which says that I, National Council, I, National Executive Committee, I, Regional Executive, IV, members of National Council of Health, V, party members of Parliament, VI, 3 reps, special organs, VII, past national officers, VII, 3 reps from external branch, IX, founding members during registration, Electoral Commission, X, all part card bearing ministers. Is that in the Constitution or in the guidelines?
This is in the Constitution.
Yes. And is that not what has been amended?
No, this is not what has been amended. So this is the special college that will determine the 5.
Yes.
Now, the Constitution has not provided us, has not contemplated in the event that we do not get the 5.
Yes.
What happens? You can call it maybe a lacuna in the Constitution, but that's why you came in
and
said that the guidelines. No, I'm coming to
the guidelines sought to
address
that.
I agree. Yes. I agree. And I'm saying that the guidelines are subservient to the decision of National Council.
Yes. To the extent that they can even change the Electoral College.
They can even not even the Electoral College. I'm not saying. Look, once you provide a guideline, that is addressing a gap in the Constitution.
Yes.
And that guideline is not incorporated into the Constitution as a binding law, but just a regulation or a guideline to guide your process.
Yes.
And that guideline is subservient to National Council. National Council at any point can change that rule. Yes. And that is going to be going to be legitimately so. Okay, so that's the point I'm making.
What I want to find out from you, I'm just learning, is that power also includes a change of the Electoral College.
That power does not include the change of the Electoral College.
Okay.
I don't know where you get the point. The Electoral College, the National Council cannot change Electoral College unless they come through constitutional amendment.
So what was the decision that was taken?
The decision that they took was that the 2 people who are battling for the 5th position, we should organize a runoff. But the runoff is going to be held, the college that's going to determine the runoff is National Council. Okay. National Council.
And not the Electoral College that the Constitution says should determine which 5.
Not the Electoral College that the Constitution should determine the 5.
So are they not then amending the Constitution?
They are not amending the Constitution. That's what I'm saying. That it's not an amendment of the Constitution because a constitutional provision is clear. It does not tell us what happens if there is a tie to battle out for the 5th position. The Constitution has not provided that.
But it tells you which Electoral College must determine all 5.
Exactly.
So you have determined 4. Determining the 5th.
Determine the 5th.
Are you changing the Electoral College or not?
So you are not changing the Electoral College. Then my argument is simple. My argument is the fact that if the Constitution tells me that go through this process to determine 5.
Yes.
I have gone through the process, and I'm not able to determine the 5.
Yes.
That is the end of that constitutional injunction. That is the end of it. You then have to ask yourself, has the Constitution provided any remedy that if I go through that step provided in the Constitution and not able to determine 5, what other remedies is the Constitution providing to solve it?
So the regulation provided that.
Good. I agree with that. The regulation provided that. So, and I'm saying that, one, to the extent that it is a regulation, it's a guideline to, as it were, help us manage the process. Okay. It is not a constitutional provision.
What the regulation provided was the mode of determining or breaking the tie.
Exactly.
But not a recomposition of the Electoral College, which has been stated in the Constitution.
Look, let's discuss the regulation a bit further. I'm arguing with people who say that the regulation has been set aside. For me, I agree with those people who say that the regulation has been set aside, and they have a reasonable expectation would have been that you follow the regulation. Okay. That argument, I very much agree with them, and that if you have to have predictability and certainty and planning, you don't change rules midway. That argument is solid. But any argument by any stretch of imagination to suggest that the act of the National Council is a breach of the constitution of the party,
disagree.
I disagree.
All right. Okay. All right. Oh no, let me bring you. Mrs. Mokhtari says hi.
Yes, she's been harassing me on social media, on my WhatsApp. So, this is interesting. Let me just, you've made all the arguments for and against.
Yes.
But I just want to see if you have a different position, if I give you a perspective. Let's say that I am a delegate, member of the super delegates conference representing Boku Central, and the Constitution says that I should be part of those who will determine the 5 people to contest for the flag bearership in the main conference. And then I go through the process with my colleagues, and we're able to determine only 4. And then I prepare myself to participate in determining the last one, only to wake up in the morning to be told that no, I will not participate in determining the last one, and that it is the National Council that will determine the last one. Do you think there's a case for me to argue that my right as enshrined in the party constitution to participate in determining the 5 is being violated by the National Council by, appropriating it, taking it away from me? I mean, I just want you to look at it from that perspective. Do you think that any member of the Super Delegates Conference can make a claim that his right to participate in determining the 5 is being violated by the Super Delegates Conference?
Reasonable expectation of that person is that I will determine the 5 people.
That's what the Constitution says.
That's a reasonable expectation based on the provision of the Constitution.
It's a right.
It's a right.
Yes. Accorded that person.
I give it to that person. But that right is subject to certain provisions, other provisions in the Constitution, i.e. ties, i.e. national decision, National Council decision. Those rights are subject to all these relevant provisions in the Constitution. So if a reasonable person, like you're a lawyer, I come to you, the question that I would expect you to ask me is that, has that particular decision to determine 5 subject to other decision of the other organs of the party? To that extent, if there are subjects, like as in the case, National Council, I will say that, look, you may not have a cause if you go to seek redress. But if it is not subject to anything, the person will be very right to say that, look, my right has been violated. So that is my response to such a situation.
Anyway, I mean, in court we'll say the matter is moot because one of them has written to withdraw his candidature. So
he says he won't be part of something which is unconstitutional.
Unconstitutional. That's really his basis. So it means that there is a legal issue there that the party needs to address. Anyway, I mean, I don't have confidence in the entire process.
Okay.
And I have indicated that this is an easily fixed arrangement. It's an easily fixed arrangement because, one, who are the members of the superdelegates? Ministers, national executives, regional executives,
Council of Elders,
members of parliament,
past national officers.
Check the background of all these people. These are people that in ordinary parlance will be considered as part of the establishment. And it is not in all cases that they act with a reasonable degree of independence and autonomy. If I have a party leader who is believed to be leading in a certain direction, and I benefit from his appointment, it will be difficult to imagine that I will be able to exercise a reasonable degree of independence when I'm taking a decision in a setting like this. Again, the setup of the election makes it very difficult for people to really express their views. Why do I say so? You have a very small college, easily identified. So let's say Northeast, 27 people or 28 people. 28 people. Just 28 people. Out of the several thousands that might, in the general delegates conference, be representing Northeast. Very easily identified. And you say they should sit in Northeast and take a decision about Bawumia. Really, what degree of independence and autonomy do they have in taking that decision? Especially when you say they should remain in Northeast and take that decision. I believe that if they had done what in the past we will do, which is bring all the delegates to Accra or Kumasi or anywhere, and they will all vote, and the ballot papers will be mixed and counted, you are more likely to have a situation where people can really, truly, and independently express their views. That's my feeling. Because if you insist that they remain in their various regions and vote, it's an intimidatory tactic, because those who voted for and against an establishment candidate can easily be identified, fished out, and victimized and punished for taking those decisions. So right from the onset, when people ask me my view, I say, but this is a fixed arrangement, and people really won't exercise the degree of independence and autonomy that one will expect. So I think we should all wait for the general conference in November to really determine what the thinking is within the party. Of course, this preliminary step provides some propaganda tools for, let's say, Bawumia and his team. But there is a lot more work to be done. If within this, what I perceive to be a fixed setup, the victory is not as overwhelming as some of us expected it to be, I really fear for the General Delegates Conference. This one, you're talking about ministers, MPs, and then regional chairmen. All the regional chairmen are mostly contractors with certificates lying at Minister of Finance. All the MPs, I believe, I've checked from the last record I have, most of them, apart from being ministers, those MPs who are not ministers are serving on very, very juicy boards appointed there by the president. As for the constituency chairman and etc., they are given the first option to refuse the various contracts at the district assemblies. And as for the regional chairman, they sit with the regional minister to determine where the contracts go. So these are establishment people. And I'm saying that even among these establishment members,
the victory doesn't sound to me as overwhelming as it ought to be. So I really fear for the general conference, because we've seen that very often the establishment and the grassroots are not on the same wavelength, especially when there is such apathy, there's such grumbling within the party and within the country. I really am concerned, and I don't think that those who are part of the Bawumia team should be celebrating and declaring victory at this stage. And I also don't think that the rest of the candidates should give up because of the 68% that Bawumia made within this category. I believe that they still have a perfect chance of, showing up very well in the general delegates conference. So, if you ask me, I'll say this is much ado about nothing in terms of the celebration that I see around the Bawumia camp, and I think that they haven't done a really good job.
All right. Okay. We'll take a break. When we return, this Fourth Republic is about what? Some 30-something years old. We're getting close to 40 years. We're still haggling over demonstration and routes and all that in 2023. We'll be back shortly.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting? For your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you.
Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Inside Black Star Press Limited. Grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
Betway is your gateway to a theme park full of gaming excitement. A whirlpool of wonder where your favorite games come to life. Where you can take to the skies with max payouts that reach into the millions. All in the palm of your hand. Visit betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Betway is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Bet responsibly. Betway. Bet your way.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and elevators, the elevator people.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story.
But he needs not stay down for long.
Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302-540-668 or 0501-678-547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Now here, TV, fridge, freezer, air condition, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, and iron. The Urban Hisense smartphone no sukradia. Yeah, titis more than a Hisense factory direct promo. It's in your madada noa. Emma light bill kuno. Fasi baby, never jeffo. Everything 28 August, I copy 2nd September. Be way showroom no. Saturday at no. Sana yet on. Wait dear, ya tetiswa broso. Who? Hisense. Everyday prices for everyday people.
Step into success with Accra Business School. Boost your career with our prestigious MSc degrees from KNUST. Pick from Human Resource Management, Communication and International Relations, Public Affairs. In just 12 months, our MBA can be yours. Dive into our BSc programs in IT Security and Cybercrime, IT Management and Business and Management, endorsed by top universities in Ireland and Wales. We offer flexible entry, payment and learning options. It's time to unlock your potential and take flight. Visit www.abs.edu.gh or dial 0263-888-555. Let Accra Business School elevate your future today.
Over 18 years in business, Appointed Time Printing Limited has delivered quality service to some of Ghana's well-known brands. With our equipment capacity, we are able to deliver 1,500 pieces of polo and t-shirts in 1 hour. This is only possible with us. For retailers and wholesalers, we offer for sale high-quality polo shirts and t-shirts in different colors at affordable prices. We have a one-stop shop for all creative designs and billboards, 3D signages, flexi banners, car branding, stickers and posters. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454167. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Appointed Time GH. Appointed Time Printing Limited. Our printing is a...
Do you need a place with a stunning view and serene environment just beneath the Green Mountains with a commercial center and recreational area with an amazing park? Then look no further.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Welcome to Rehoboth Havens, the most affordable yet luxurious gated community located in Damfa, Accra. We have 2 and 3 bedroom houses with spacious park. Let me show you. All of our rooms come with beautiful porcelain tiles, durable fitted kitchen cabinets,
constant water supply,
electricity and water 24/7.
I'm buying this house. Stop processing my papers. Move it. If you're living in Ghana and want an affordable and luxurious house to buy, look no further than Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. Oh, And to those from the diaspora, aren't you tired of living in places that doesn't belong to you? You can also own your house and be your own landlord from Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. I have my own Bosu landlord.
Contact us now. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes reality.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have the Honorable Mahama Ayarikia and Dr. Tia Kabiru Mahama. All right, now let me speak to you about the Black Star Press Limited. And other Black Star Press Limited, they grow businesses inside the inventive minds, evolving concepts, and the creative trends. Black Star Press Limited is a printing press that you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with their works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies, you can reach them now on 0200-880000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing. And the Makers Electronics Company Limited is asking me to remind you once again that they have discounts of up to 67% on electronic appliances from brands such as Samsung, LG Move, NASCO, TCL Media, and Toshiba. These are quality but affordable with 2 years manufacturer defect warranty. So visit the showrooms of the Makers Electronics Company Limited at Taifa Burkina Highway, Amasaman Zongo Junction, Oyarifa Teman Boga Junction, Kaswa New Market, Asherman Varco Flat, Kumasi Ahini Makokobi, Intakradi Kuman number 9 Market. You can reach the Makers Electronics Company Limited on 055-2222253 or 055-2222254. The Makers Electronics Company Limited, large and in charge with quality but affordable home appliances and consumer electronics. Terms and conditions apply. And are you ready to get way more back with Betway in the new season? Use the golden booking code that you can find on the Betway site and place your risk-free bet from 25th to the 27th of August. Okay, it's guaranteed to give you 100% back as free bet up to 50 cedis if you lose. This is regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana and is not for persons under 18. Terms and conditions apply. All right. Okay. Today is your 70th birthday. Mr. Ernest Kwashi, a former management member of Accra Hearts of Oak Sporting Club Limited. Mr. Ernest Kwashi, you're 70 today. Happy 70th birthday to you. And I understand it's also the birthday for the Member of Parliament of the Bongo constituency, the Honorable Edward Bauer. Happy birthday to you, Eddie, as well. Now, Honorable, your leader wrote to the police, I think somewhere on the 21st of August, informing the police about a demonstration. And the objective of the demonstration is to ask for the resignation of the Bank of Ghana governor and his deputies over how they have administered the affairs of the central bank and its effect on the Ghanaian economy. The police invited your side to a meeting. After the meeting, the impression we got was that it went well. Later on, we're told that there was a disagreement with the routes. The police issued a statement to say that you guys couldn't reach a consensus on the routes, and so they've gone to court. The court will hear the matter on the 4th of September, and they're seeking an injunction. The minority issued a statement signed by the deputy leader, which also says that the police try to impose routes on you. You disagree with those routes, you would go ahead with the demonstration. You subsequently have held a public lecture or a public talk at the UPSC. I think that was yesterday, as part of the programs lined up for the demonstration. And for many people, it appears to be a ritual. Demonstrators and the police, injunction, going to court. And people ask, I mean, in many jurisdictions, we do not see this. And if after close to 40 years of this Fourth Republican dispensation, we still can't get around a very simple thing like a demonstration. Yes, the demonstrators have a right. The police also say that they also have a right to ensure public order and safety and all those things. Something must give.
Well, thank you very much. We wrote to the police and indicated the preferred route of our group. We wanted to start from the frontage of Parliament House, pass through the Accra Sports Stadium Road to the Ministry of Finance, and then continue on the Kimbu Road, pass through Rollins Park to Opera Square, and then end at the frontage of the Bank of Ghana head office building. The police invited us, and at the meeting, and I was there, I was in the meeting, so I'm giving you a first-hand account. At the meeting, the police said that they were concerned about the march to the head office of the Bank of Ghana because the Bank of Ghana is a national security installation, and that area is a national security zone, or it's a security zone, and therefore they will not allow us to march to the Bank of Ghana head office. And also, they did not appreciate the decision of the group to go through Kimbo Hill and then Rollins Park, Makola, and Opera Square, because usually during that time of the day, there will be a lot of commerce taking place there, and there could be some congestion and etc. So for those two reasons, they had an alternative proposal. We're all ears. Then they told us that we should rather start from Obra Sport and take that major highway leading to Accra Central. Then at that traffic light in Adabraka, we should turn left and then march up to the TUC building and take that road that passes by City House and continue through the ministries and terminate at Independence Square. That was the original alternative route proposed by the police themselves at the meeting. So I was the one who even raised the issue. I said, oh, but you say your real concern is Bank of Ghana being a security zone, so we cannot march there. But you are prepared to have us march to City House. Do you know that City House is a Bank of Ghana headquarters annex? They were sitting there. I said, so clearly, your concern is not Bank of Ghana being a security zone. Your concern is that you just don't want us to march to the Bank of Ghana building and not the security issues. In any case, our letter is clear that we're going to the frontage of the Bank of Ghana. Secondly, you don't want us to pass through Makola. But I and my colleagues here, we have participated in marches where we have passed through Makola. And we have passed through Opera Square. And we have passed through the Bank of Ghana building that you are saying today we cannot pass through. And we have terminated at Hearts Park and held a rally at Hearts Park. So what has changed in Ghana today that what we could do in the past, we can no longer do today? So Makola has never been off the limits, because we've done that before. Opera Square has never been off the limits, because we've done that before. And our colleagues here, everybody was there, so we've participated in all those demonstrations. So clearly, your reasons are not related to public convenience. And we said, look, why you are even proposing that we should start from Opera Square Circle up to Obra Sport Circle up to Independence Square. Do you know how much inconvenience that will entail to the public? Look at the distance. So we have chosen the shortest route from Parliament House to the Bank of Ghana building with what we believe will be minimal, disruption of public activity and inconvenience to the public. And also we've chosen routes that we believe the streets are broad enough to be able to support the crowd, and then it will be easy for you to police the march. So we are not convinced about the reasons. Then they responded that, well, the situation in Ghana was different when we could demonstrate along those routes. Today, the situation has changed. And we said, well, the capacity of the police service at that time was equally different. Today, the capacity of the police service, we believe, has improved. Your personnel strength has improved. Your equipment stock has improved because we have been approving the budget for you in Parliament, so we know what you have. And so we think that it would be scandalous for you to tell us that what you could do 5, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, you can't do them today. So we're not ready to accept your reasons. We're going to insist on our route, and it is your constitutional responsibility, given your personnel and capacity, to go and make arrangements for us to be able to do it safely. So on that note, we left. And that was why we said the meeting was cordial, and etc. When we left, they issued a statement in which they prescribed a completely different route from what we had even discussed. They issued a statement saying that they were only allowing us to start from Parliament House and terminate at Independence Square. So, but in fact, at the meeting, when they even said we should terminate at Independence Square, start from Circle area and terminate at Independence Square, we said, look, our march has nothing to do with the independence of Ghana. Our march is about the performance of the central bank. So the communication is about a central bank governor and his deputies and board that have failed the people of Ghana. And so the building itself is the subject of the speech. So if you take the building out, the speech will be distorted. So we will not go to anywhere other than the central bank building to say that we are dissatisfied with the work that you are doing in this building. So they issued a statement redirecting us from Parliament House to the Independence Square. We said, what is this? So it is on the strength of the statement they issued, saying that they will only allow us to march from Parliament House to Independence Square, that we also said we are not moving an inch. Even that wasn't discussed. And so you've exercised bad faith. You clearly are in collaboration with whoever it is just to stop us from demonstrating. And that your real concerns are not issues of public order and etc. In any case,
I'm told they raised issues of terrorist activities.
I'm coming to that.
Okay.
At that meeting, those were not the prominent issues. Okay? It is when we also issued a statement rejecting their proposed route from Parliament House to Independence Square, then they ran to court, and in the affidavit, they then raised the issues of military coups, terrorism, and etc. And then, situation in Burkina Faso, how the situation in Burkina Faso relates to Ghanaians marching from Parliament House to the Bank of Ghana head office, I can't understand. How the situation in Niger should prevent a Ghanaian to march from Parliament House to the Central Bank building to express his or her disagreement with the mismanagement that is taking place there. I don't understand. So we're there when they ran to court, and then we saw the affidavit attached to their application to the High Court. And in that affidavit, they were now raising issues about security zone, and there's no law which they found their case on that says that the Central Bank building is a security zone. And we told them that there's a contradiction here. You are willing to let us march to City House, which is a Central Bank office building, but you don't see that as a security zone. You think that the office where the governor and his deputies, who you know are the target of the demonstration, are sitting, that one is a security zone. And they now say that terrorism and then military coups are happening all over West Africa, and then they have intelligence. Where they are getting that intelligence, I don't understand. Look, in the first place, we all know that nobody in this country has raised a finger against this demonstration. So where their intelligence is coming from, I don't understand. If you recall Kumi Preku, there were groups that were also threatening to carry out counter demonstration, if you recall. I was there. And so right from the onset, there were threats to the demonstrators. But even then, the demonstrations took place. Here, so far, I've not heard any single Ghanaian say that they are against us marching from Parliament House to the Bank of Ghana building. So tell me where the threat is coming from, and tell me how you have gathered intelligence that shows that the demonstrations will turn violent, and therefore public safety and order will be threatened. That's the first question that I asked, and I don't have answers. Secondly, who says that the market women at Makola and the shop owners at Opera Square feel that this march
Opera Square.
Opera Square, because that's where they are against us passing through, and Rollins Park. Who says that these people who are the ones suffering most from the bad policies of the central bank, who says that they are against us marching past their shops to go and express their suffering to the governor and his deputies? Who says they are against it? In fact, who even says that when we are marching, they won't join us? Because if anybody is feeling the effects of the bad monetary policies of the central bank governor, it is the women at Makola. Because they are the ones who every single day, and sometimes within a day, have to do the mathematics of adjusting their prices to meet the dollar rate of that day. Because they're going to go and buy their goods in dollars. So if the dollar is 1 to 20 Ghana cedis today, and then by midday they hear that it is 1 to 25 Ghana cedis, they will have to correspondingly calculate and adjust their prices in order that when they sell, they will still have enough capital to go back to China or Europe or America or wherever they are buying their goods from to buy those goods. They are the ones who see the faces of consumers when they come and then they ask the price and they are told that something that the consumer knew yesterday was 2 cedis has suddenly become 4 cedis. In fact, sometimes the fight is between the shop owner, the sales girl, and the consumer, because the consumer thinks that they are trying to defraud him. Yesterday he came and checked and the price was 2 cedis. How is it that today it is 4 cedis? And the shop owner is trying to explain how the change in dollar and the devaluation of the cedi and etc. has affected the price. So these are actually the people who have an interest in this particular protest march. And all I see is that the police and those who are behind them trying to frustrate this peaceful expression of public revulsion against the gross mismanagement of the governor and his deputies are seeking to prevent the voices of these market women from being heard. Since we announced this protest march, so many civil society organizations have expressed their support and their willingness to participate. And I'm very confident that the market women at Makola, the traders at Opera Square, and the hawkers and everybody along that route is looking forward to this march so that at least they can also participate and express their revulsion. And that is why we have taken a position that we will march on those routes. So far, the propaganda out there is that we have been stopped. We have not been stopped. Nobody has stopped us. The police have no power to stop anybody from engaging in a special event. And the protest is a special event. It is the duty of the police to make sure that they are there to provide protection to those participating and protection to those who are around the area where the event is taking place.
Is that not why they've gone to court?
They have gone to court
to get a court to stop you.
But they haven't secured any order yet. And so it cannot be said that we have been stopped.
Yes.
Or that the march has been postponed.
Yes.
Or that the route has been changed. That's the point that I'm making.
Right.
It cannot be stopped unless there's a court order.
Yeah.
And we will be in court on Monday to challenge it. And we are very confident that any judge assessing the situation will know that if you are really afraid of a coup and you are concerned about a coup, then let citizens express their misgivings about malfeasance of public officials so that corrective measures will be implemented to prevent a situation where the system will degenerate to a point where people will hail a coup. And that is why democratic freedoms are enshrined. And you must have very, very serious reasons and considerations to get a court to prevent people from demonstrating or demonstrating along a certain route. And I keep saying that those of us who have organized a public protest, we have a greater interest in the protest being peaceful and successful than the police. Because it is our reputation on the line. It is our reputation on the line. All demonstrations that I have participated in fact, it is the police that we are watching. Yes, it is the police because they are part of the establishment. That's how we perceive them. We perceive them as being part of the establishment. And therefore, they will engage in conduct that would rather cause some disorder so that they will blame it on we, the demonstrators. So when we go for demonstration, we watch the police more than we watch ourselves. So we have our cameras positioned everywhere throughout the route, capturing every single angle of the protest march, so that in case the police come up and make any complaint of disorder, we'll have the evidence to show how it started, who caused it, at what point. So don't think that we are just marching blindly. We are equally marching with one of the most sophisticated security setup to monitor ourselves, monitor the police, monitor anybody along that route, so that every single moment of the march is adequately captured. This is how we organize the demonstrations. People don't think we just march on the streets. So we have a greater interest in the security, the peacefulness, the orderliness, because our reputations are also on the line. So the police can't come and tell us that they all of a sudden have a higher mechanism for assessing security threats and threats to public order and disorder, and then they can prescribe where people can march and not march in this country. We will march.
All right. I know you won't march with them, but...
Yeah, Doc, you see, the issue about the march and then I would first and foremost say that the police, together with the demonstrators, should come to a consensus for them to have an acceptable route for the demonstration.
Okay.
Because the purpose of the demonstration is to express their dissatisfaction with how governance at the central bank is being held or is done. And to that extent, it is within their right to actually come out as part of their responsibility and rights as citizens to express their misgiving if they feel strongly about them. And I think that as a democracy that we practice, demonstrations, protests should be allowed unimpeded, and any attempt to restrain any peaceful demonstration is going to be a blot on the democratic tenets of our country. And to that very extent, for me, I will not want any attempt to inhibit demonstration. But that said, demonstrations should also be done taking into consideration public safety, law and order. And that is essentially the reason why we have the Public Order Act. And the demonstrators have actually started with the respect for that particular order by writing to the police, seeking for, if you like, giving them notice and police protection to carry on with the process peacefully. But the issues raised by the police, are they genuine? I think in all sincerity, they are genuine concerns. And the options, are they, I mean, the options provided, Lawyer Ayerga mentioned about the fact that the options given are having the same encumbrances, if you like the previous one we have asked, I mean, the previous route we had this so determined. Okay, so your option is no option. Probably the reason why the police came back with a different option, because probably they had not adverted their mind to the implication of even passing through the city house. When you drew their attention to that, they feel like, okay, the city house too, on the strength of the same reason, we may not pass there. But for me, no one dare say that central bank is not a security installation. Okay, that place, the precinct of central bank, at least, I would say 100-meter radius around the whole of that building should not any, I mean, the public, unless of course you have legitimate business to transact with the bank, you should not be allowed near that place, because that is the heart of the monetary policy of our country. That is the heart of our value as a nation, the currency that we travel, the medium of exchange, where we thrive in our relationship, international relations and domestic. That is the heart of it. Okay, a currency is the single most determinant of a country's, I mean, sovereignty. Okay, and to that extent, the central bank installation, everything within it is a security installation. Can we still express our dissatisfaction? Can we express our unhappiness with the situation or status quo, still using different rules? I think the choice of rules and the expression of your dissatisfaction are mutually exclusive. Okay, you don't need to necessarily go to the central bank, the president of the central bank, to show that you have actually have issues against the central bank. You don't need to. So at the end of the day, my only prayer is that both parties should come to consensus on amicable or appropriate or acceptable route. A route that will not impede businesses, that will not cause unnecessary traffic, so that other genuine and fair-minded Ghanaians can carry on with their business without being impeded by demonstrators. Because the right to demonstrate is to the extent of the limit provided by the law. Okay, so if any demonstration is going to injure public order, it's going to be against public, I mean, even public morality, the police have reasons to raise issues with them. And I'm happy that the police is not saying that don't go. They are going to the court for direction, for guidance. If the court decides that, look, the position of the police is right, if the demonstrator wants to go with the demonstration past the acceptable route as provided by the police, I will urge the demonstrators to do same. We shouldn't be on a situation or on a path like, look, we either go through the route we want or we go through that route. That will not help us. And I'm happy that at least the leaders of the demonstration are actually showing some kind of level-headedness, and they are trying to go by the rule. And I'm happy that he mentioned specifically that it is in their interest to ensure that they have a peaceful demonstration. To what end will this demonstration serve? It's a different discussion. But the very opportunity given to the citizens to express their dissatisfaction itself is something that we should encourage. And I'm very, very much in support of any attempt to express your dissatisfaction. Is that the right process? I've argued that that's not the right process if you actually want to get the result that you want. But for politics, the antics of it, and Mr. Ayerga is very good at organizing political events. He's very good at that, using the law to push a political agenda. I will not take away that from him. Okay, but are you really seeking to get the governor of central bank be removed, or you are just trying to demonstrate, to show to the Ghanaian people that you are not happy with the status quo? If that is the extent, just to show your dissatisfaction, I'm okay. It is the right, legitimate process to take. But I have always argued, if you want to get the result, if you sincerely think that something is wrong with the country, with the management of the central bank, the law has provided very legitimate, very effective, and very results-oriented ways of getting your results. And they should reflect on those avenues to ensure that they get what they want. You see, this is an issue for the police and the demonstrators. And they have, I'm happy, the NDC, who are the leaders of this, they have absolute faith in the IGP. To the extent that when there was an audio going around, they came to the defense of the IGP and said this IGP is the most effective. So if the same effective person is giving you guidance, I will expect that. They listen to the guidance of that IGP because you believe that the IGP will not do anything, and he's now categorizing the IGP as part of the establishment. So, I mean, one breath, he is independent, he should not be sacked, government shouldn't do anything about his, and then General Secretary, I mean, the chairman of the party has come to the defense of the IGP. I don't have position on this issue, but I think that the same faith you have in that IGP, who is now given direction that this demonstration will be organized orderly in a particular way, you should equally have faith in him. You shouldn't try to lump him or the institution of the police service with that of government. We will leave it, I mean, as someone in government, we will leave it for the determination of the police, the court, and the demonstrators. And if the appropriate route is determined, they should be allowed, unimpeded, to go on with the demonstration, demonstrate that they are not happy, whether good or bad, whether legitimate or not. They have every right to express that view. That is not to suggest that I side with the concerns raised by the minority or the leadership of the demonstration that the issues they are raising are legitimate. Without any fear of imagination, the basis for the demonstration is absolutely zero. There's no basis for that demonstration because the fact that the central bank has incurred loss and shouldn't be making laws is your basis for demonstration. Okay, when we have institutions, just like also corporate institutions, registering losses, no one has gone for their heads. Okay, so the basis itself, I feel it is problematic, but the democratic right to demonstrate should not be taken away from any of the demonstrators. And I disagree completely with the basis for the demonstration, but I think that in democracy, as Koki Baku will say, in democracy, we allow ugly noises are allowed. Okay, and you may not like.
He prefers
ugly noises
to the culture of silence.
Culture of silence. So that is essentially what they are doing, and I agree with them. People have made issue about coup. How does it? This has nothing to do with the coup of the country. Okay.
There's the police.
The police say they have intelligence that the demonstration will be used as a conduit to perpetuate other illegality. Simply put. And to the extent of that intelligence that we are mindful of the routes that you want to take. And we've had organizers organizing a very peaceful demonstration, but actors or elements within that particular group have taken the law into their own, which the organizers don't have control over.
Because the pendulum swings, do you appreciate the fact that if such claims by the police are not interrogated and are allowed to be done under the cloak of intelligence and national security, it could be used every day. In fact, yesterday, I told the panel that I asked them whether if you intend to demonstrate from this building to Alisa Hotel, whether the police cannot tell you that they have intelligence to show that some people will take advantage of that to do things that have implications of national security.
Yeah, I think that disclosure to the extent, without limiting, exposing certain crucial national security should be encouraged. That the police should be forthcoming, at least if you can trust the leadership of the demonstration to disclose to the extent possible the things that we have picked. And that on the basis of that, we are asking you, we are urging you to tell your members that we don't want this route acceptable. Because we shouldn't give the police, as it were, unfettered right to determine whether or not demonstration should be held or not. Because when you give them unfettered right, it is actually, you are not promoting democracy. So interrogating it, I very much agree with the fact that we should interrogate reasons raised by the police. But we should not be very strict and very, if you like, we don't want to shift grounds on the position we have taken. If they provide a reasonable explanation that we feel that based on the reason of the argument made by the police, we can alter the route. We can change, we can get an alternative route, fair and good. But I feel like demonstrators being very strong on their position, feeling that we cannot do anything. And you see,
let me ask a question. If Ghana believes that together with other West African countries, it can be able to go into Niger and oust the regime in their own territory. What do we say to a security apparatus that makes a claim that suggests that it will not be able to police a demonstration
less than 2 kilometers
in Accra, and that it will not have the capacity to ensure that coupists and terrorists do not infiltrate into this demonstration? What does that say about our preparedness and our competence as far as the security architecture is concerned?
Is it, Doc, the police is not saying that they don't have the capacity to manage.
No, I'm just looking at the implication.
That's what they said.
No.
That was what they said. And that is why we told them at the meeting that, look, we know you. We know your capacity. The route that you are against us marching, we have marched there before with you.
No, that's what I'm saying.
And you gave us security and we marched there successfully.
Yes.
So what has changed? So, because for us, you should even be able to do it better today because your numbers are even more than 4 or 5 years ago when we marched along the same routes and you gave us protection. I have marched through Opera Square, through Makola, through the Bank of Ghana building. So we examined their arguments in the meeting and we established to them that the arguments were untenable. The only response they had for us at the meeting, Randy, was that yesterday is not the same as today.
Which is a legitimate
And we wanted to know what has made yesterday not the same as today. Because so far as we are concerned, today is better than yesterday. Because your numbers are more than yesterday's numbers. Your level of education today is more than yesterday because today is today's experience plus yesterday's experience. And yesterday you policed a march along the same route. And today you should be guided by the experience of how you police the march, yesterday's route. In fact, at the meeting we told them that it will be a big disgrace for you to come out and tell the public that you can't even police a demonstration along this route.
The issue is that the police is not saying that they cannot police demonstration, but they are telling you that they cannot police the demonstration along the route that you are requesting.
Which they did yesterday.
Yes. Yesterday they policed.
No, why can't they?
Why can't they?
That's what I want to understand.
That is the explanation that the police service should be in a good position to provide to the demonstrator. And the demonstrators have right to accept or to reject those. And I believe they have provided because we don't know the deployment of the police service for a period.
They didn't raise any issue of deployment. In fact, their affidavit, which they attach to their application to the court, has not raised any issue of deployment. Oh, there's Independence March and school children. In the past, we've tried to demonstrate. And then the police will tell us, oh, because there's an Independence March and we've deployed policemen to go and this and that, we can't move them. Sometimes we need to move them from the various regions to Accra to beef up the Accra numbers. We sit and analyze it. We are rational beings. We've run the country before. Don't behave like you are the only person who have run the country before.
The truth is that
the only reason is that there is a terrorism in Burkina Faso and that there is a coup in Niger and that another one happened in Mali, another one happened in Guinea. That's all. If you read the affidavit, that's all that they are saying.
The police have every reason to be circumspect of happenings around our neighboring countries and to reasonably infer that if caution is not taken, if the public is not managed, if a group of people who are not happy with the government is given opportunity, as it were, unrestrained, to do whatever they like, it can degenerate to something else. They have every right to exercise caution. And it is part of their duty to prevent, crime. In fact, if they can forestall it, they have to. So what the police service is doing is the exercise of the abundance of caution in ensuring that our national security is not jeopardized. We can raise issue about what is your deployment. Let us know your deployment. You raise the issue about neighboring countries. Look, a combined force of your sub-region or your West African sub-region intervening in a country which demands the contribution of resources, including personnel, to the proportion of your capacity internal, is not does not take away your capacity to defend your internal country, or does not also make sure that because you have not got enough capacity, you should not have mutual responsibility, cooperation in terms of security, in the interest of global or regional security. They are not substitute. So I think that any decision ECOWAS take, which requires government.
I wasn't. Maybe you didn't get the.
No, your point was that ECOWAS, you have capacity to contribute to ensuring that the security of ensuring that a government is taken out.
Yes.
Because you feel that the government is not legitimate, but you don't have capacity in your country to police ordinary demonstration. That's your point.
I am sure that you appreciate what it takes to remove
another government
from
in their territory.
military government in their territory.
With their army backing them and their populace backing them.
It is not a decision that the Ghana police.
When you host meetings, to pursue this agenda.
Yeah.
It won't attract terrorists.
Yes.
It will not be a danger. Nothing. It won't be a danger. But when people are going to demonstrate,
to hold your central bank governor accountable.
Look, those issues around us.
The police are not the
but when everybody is congregating on your land.
Look, the police.
When you have a situation where Burkina Faso, Mali, Guinea are threatening about Niger and what they will do. In fact, they are even threatening Nigeria.
Yeah.
You have absolutely no problem, irrespective of their proximity,
converging in Accra.
To allow for a convergence in Accra.
To plan how to remove them.
That one you don't have a problem.
Who says that the government is not mindful of any potential threat, being the country being used as a host for said discussion?
Thank you. So the point
I'm making is that
if the government is not mindful of any potential threat,
so the issue is that
that's not to suggest that the government is not doing anything to prevent or to ameliorate or to mitigate that.
Chief, the point I'm making is that if my country, and I'm happy that my country can decide to do all these things and believe that it has the capacity
to promote democracy,
that it will do all these things, it will allow for the country to be used for convergence and everything, irrespective of the threats. And still be able to deal with it. I'm happy. I thank God for that. But the same country turns around to tell me that, although it has a capacity to allow these things and do all those things, when it comes to people demonstrating about Bank of Ghana and others, it is scared of the coups happening and the terrorist thing and all that.
We are not being fair to the police when we limit the whole discussion of the plethora of issues they raise to only the issue about potential security risks or terrorism. Okay, that is not the only reason the police proffer for why they think that route should be changed. So I think that we may decide to focus on that, but that's not the only reason. They gave us a basket of reasons, including that you have mentioned. So we shouldn't limit it. So if they are giving all these potential reasons
for the reasons that they are giving the court and asking the court to injunct, what are they telling the court? What's the reason they are giving the court?
They are telling the court that we are mindful of the right of people to demonstrate.
Yes.
We are also mindful of the fact that we have the duty to police the demonstrators, and not just the demonstrators, the general public.
Yes.
And mindful of this duty, we are not in a good position.
Why?
Now, because the routes chosen, one, they will cause public disorder, because in our estimation, in our experience, demonstration on such routes would cause traffic, would impede the ride.
Which route in Accra
would not cause traffic? They wanted us to start from Obrasport. They wanted us to start from Obrasport.
You should not take a measure that you know that, look, I can achieve the same goal, but with less traffic, with less public disorder. Okay? If you have that option, why don't you embrace that?
Okay.
So for me, there's position that we must, at all costs, we must follow that route. I think they must be sober in that particular position. Let us discuss. Let the police discuss with the demonstrators. Let the court, now that it's even in court, let the court determine whether or not the position by the police is. If the court so decide, we are a law-abiding country, the police should do whatever it takes to provide the security, mindful of the fact that if anything should happen, the police will be absolved of blame to some extent because they had raised caution with that. Now we will all have responsibility to take the blame. But I'm sure that these demonstrators would be law-abiding. I have faith in them, and I have no reason except some of them I cannot vouch for, and they cannot even vouch for some of the membership because the member of the people who come. I'm not sure Mr. Honorable Ayerga has got a full complement of the people who are coming. In fact, he's even suggesting that when they pass through the Makwala market, traders will come and join them. Traders, he has no clue about their background.
So they are violent people? Traders?
No, I'm saying that you have no clue. You don't.
Are you saying the traders and Makwala are violent people?
Don't put words. I'm saying that people from different walks of life will join your demonstration. People you have no inclination at all of their background.
Right.
So you must be mindful of that and also take caution from the police to ensure that you have a peaceful demonstration.
All right. Okay. We'll leave it here. Unfortunately, we couldn't look at. Yesterday, a commissioner of police was before the parliamentary committee, and quite interesting things happened there. But we need to link up to Cape Coast. What I'll probably do is that I'll play you excerpts of his appearance before the committee. I hear that it will continue today. And then we'll take a break, and when we return, we'll link up to Desi the Starboy, who's at Cape Coast for the Fit to Afashe. Thanks. Honorable Doc, for joining me.
Thank you so much, Randy.
Thank you very much.
It's refreshing to be back here.
Yes. Good to see you again.
Now he'll be back here on Fridays with Nana Kumia.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatments like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi.
Commissioner George Alex Mensah, do you identify your voice on the tape?
Honorable Chair, I identify some voices that resembles my voice, but I cannot say specifically that these are my voices.
Commissioner Mensah, are you imputing that somebody has doctored your voice?
Exactly, Honorable Chair.
Have you heard that Chief Bugri Nabu has said on oath before this committee that he taped the conversation?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
And do you know that he made a positive judicial confession before this committee that was having a conversation with you?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
When did the conversation take place? Can you tell the committee?
Honorable Chair, I don't know when it took place. I heard it in the media.
You know, this tape has a logical flow of people talking. This one says this, and this other says that. This person provokes this statement, and there's a response. Is that not the case?
Honorable Chair, that is what I heard today.
So let me ask you again. Are you saying, Commissioner of Police, that this is an improvised tape trying to bring you into a conversation that you were never involved?
Honorable Chair, what I'm saying is that this tape that was played today, to me, is an edited tape.
Okay. So the unedited tape, you admit, is you?
Honorable Chair, I have not heard any unedited tape for me to talk about it as I sit here.
You just said a minute ago that the tape is edited. You see, by implication, that means the tape has an unedited version. Is that not so?
Honorable Chair, what I'm saying is that the tape that I heard today, there are so many things in that tape that I don't remember. And there are certain things that I remember we discussed that are not on the tape.
So this is a clear admission that you had a conversation with Chief Bugri Nabu. Is that not so?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yes.
I cannot deny that one.
Okay, that is fine. So now you admit that your voice is on the tape.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Do you know when this conversation took place? Do you know?
Honorable Chair, as I sit here, if I can tell you the exact date and time, then I'll just lie.
We are being told that you are at the point of exiting the Ghana Police Service. Is that the case?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
When are you going to be given a farewell?
Honorable Chair, being given a farewell is optional. It's not compulsory. You decide whether to do it or not to do it. As I sit here, I haven't decided.
Okay. But it's always the case that having served the Ghana Police Service for a long time and were exiting, the command structure will always give you a farewell. Is that not so? That much I know.
Honorable Chair, that was what was happening, but this current IGP has cancelled it.
I see. Again, I do not intend to be disrespectful. You sound very educated. May I know the level of your education, please?
Honorable Chair, I have a master's degree in human resource management. I'm a lawyer. I'm a chartered accountant.
All right, so those were excerpts of the parliamentary committee's inquisition into the leaked audio purporting to deal with the ousting of the IGP. I'm sure that it's a running story. The sitting continues today, so next week I'm sure we're going to bring you a lot more. But I need to link up now to Desi, the star boy, who is in Cape Coast, leading our coverage of the Fetu Afashe of my mother's people. Good morning, Desi.
Good morning, Doc. How you doing?
I'm good. I can tell you're excited.
Well, yes, it's already buzzing here in Cape Coast. As we got here this morning, we saw that a lot of decorations in town welcoming visitors into the city. So when you get to Agri Memorial Senior High School, you'll see that there's a banner over there saying welcome to Fetu Afashe in Cape Coast. And then all the way to Pedu Junction, you'll find a lot of paintings, a lot of banners are hanging around welcoming people also. So from Pedu Junction is up there, and this is just stretched to Adisado. So I'm currently at Adisado, and this stretch goes on straight to town, and that's from town to the Pedu Junction. And you see a lot of cars moving around, lots of visitors in town this day and for the weekend to enjoy the Afashe Festival. But of course, we are doing this together with Level 3 Pub, and they are just behind us. We'll go to them in a bit. Level 3 Pub, they are set, getting everything done, and then we will get set for everything that we have promised our viewers this Fetu Afashe for this particular weekend. Of course, this is brought to you by Game Park, but you cannot talk about Afashe without some masquerade. So you see some masqueraders there. I was going to talk to them in a bit, but yes, so we'll get to speak to them in a bit and ask, you know, all that, and probably do some dance with them, and then talk to some of the people how they're preparing towards the Afashe this day. So I say, what's up? Mama so.
Dance moves now.
Okay, so what time you come on? Or come up? Uncles.
Yeah, fancy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's me. Why? All right. So one of the masqueraders there. So I'm going to cross the road to the other side and talk to some of the people here to find out how they are preparing for the Afashe. Note that today the Orange Friday is going to happen, and so we get to bring you that later in the day. So let's go across there and speak to some of the persons here about the Afashe. I saw this woman earlier. Let me talk to her and ask her how she's been. Mommy, but Banezi Komo, Abishapa.
I think I'm not saying.
Now I feel Afashe ehun den obokoya.
Oh, obokoye because bibi aye fine, bibi aye kama nti obokoye.
Na ehun den nkofo abukrom. Abasem na beka che ahoho na wonya mben no.
Mama ka che on there, one wo ban wonya abotar wo mbra because krom aye show. E na one ho dada no so wonya abotar. Because krom aye show pa. Me de me mba bi da. Me so obi na o ka chem na me mechi bo fruit. Oh, wo record bibi record fine. Bibi record fine. E do mo krom ye show.
Okay. Orange Friday, orange away.
Oh, man, me ma zere na ma sha nti no. Bibi abokodo.
Mama say that's me.
Okay, dear.
All right, so she was saying there that she just came to town to be part of it, and so she's waiting for how it will go later in the day. But we've been talking about Level 3 pub, and we want to show you how the pub is going to be like today and everything that's going to happen there. So follow me, walk with me. Let's get into Level 3. And for those of you who are watching who are yet to come to town, you get to know what will be happening here at Level 3. Let me talk to this one. I say, Mommy, what's in that?
What are you?
Nah, orange no water.
What papa?
A crying.
Oh, yeah, 50 cities.
50 cities.
But I know. Martin to the day. Who.
Attitude.
Who. Martin to
50 cities. Oh, nobody know, Anna.
Nobody doesn't know. In here. Happy Orange Friday.
Happy Orange Friday.
Enjoy yourself.
I'm a follower.
What on kakran.
Okay. That's it,
That's
okay, so that's the orange shirts for the Orange Friday Jam. That'll be taking place later in the day, the carnival. So let's get into Level 3 and show you what will be happening later in the day. Remember that today we're bringing you Entertainment Review live. So follow me, let's get in there to Level 3. Okay, so This is level 3 we've been talking about for the past 2 weeks. We've been sharing with you this particular place together with Metro TV, bringing to you the Fit to Fashion special on all Ignite media platforms, Metro TV, Original TV, and also Original FM. So you see the setup there, you see the camera very soon. Everything is almost set for the events that will be taking place today and also tomorrow and then on Sunday. Remember, Sunday is the all-white party with Samini that will be happening also. So yes, everything is ready here at level 3 pub behind Adisadel on the Adisadel stretch. You can come in and be part of this amazing time with us here on Metro TV and Original TV and Original 91.9 FM. Doc, so that's what's happening here. It's buzzing already in town, and I'm super excited to be back here in Igwe. Doc, anything you want to ask?
All right. Once the area where you are around Adisada, it means that you're very close to my family house. But take us through the activities for today, tomorrow, and Sunday.
Okay, so for today, as we've done, we brought some updates. Earlier, when we were on our way to Cape Coast, we stopped by a number of schools in Fantiman. We did Agri Memorial. We did also Ghana National College, Adisadel College, and it was amazing seeing all of these places. We brought that on the morning rush, and of course, Good Morning Ghana now. Later in the day at 3 p.m., Entertainment Review will bring it to you live from level 3. And today we'll be talking about Central Region music. You know, everything about it. We're going to have some of their top acts. Okoto Perry will be joining us this afternoon to talk about that on Entertainment Review. We'll bring that to you from level 3. And then the Orange Friday Carnival will take place. That's going to be through town. Everybody's going to be in orange. I'm going to be changing into my orange outfit. We'll be walking through town. The whole carnival is going to be massive. And then tomorrow, there will also be some other activities. That includes the Grand Debate that we'll be bringing to you live. And then later in the day, some more parties happening here. And then on Sunday, there's going to be the Super Cup. There's going to be Arsenal Man United Fufu party. And also in the evening, it's going to be Samini All Whites party. And that is going to be amazing. So you do not move anywhere. Just you can stay with us here on Metro TV, Original TV, and also on Original 91.9 FM.
All right. So Sunday, we have the Super Cup, Mediama SC versus Dreams FC at the Cape Coast Stadium. And we're bringing you that as well.
Yeah.
All right, okay. So I can tell you're having fun, and just take it easy. And I'm sure that we'll be hearing a lot more from you and the guys in our subsequent programming.
Definitely.
Yes, but there's a lot happening on Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 91.9 FM. Please take very good care of yourself, okay? I don't want you to get into trouble.
Yes, Doc, we'll be having fun, but we'll take care of ourselves.
Please do. It's very important, okay? Because I heard the other ladies saying that the chroma issue. I don't know what she meant by that. And she kept saying chroma issue.
I don't know what she meant by chroma issue. No, I don't know. We just came here to have fun.
Okay. All right. So I'll see you. Take care. All right. So that's Desi, the star boy, was in Cape Coast already, leading our coverage of the Fit to Fashion festival, which started on Monday, but is actually we'll hit the climax this particular weekend. So there's the Red Orange Friday today, which will be happening soon, Street Carnival, and a lot more activities. And then on Sunday, we have all the big events. There's the Super Cup, which actually ushers in the new football season in Ghana. So you'll have the league champions, Dreams, Mediama SC against the FA Cup champions, Dreams FC, at the Cape Coast Stadium. Then there's also the Arsenal Man U game. Will be on. There's the Samino White Party, and we're doing this with Level 3 Pub, and it's brought to you by Game Park Games. You can choose from 0 to 9 and stake any 5 numbers, and they have the biggest odds in town. Just visit www.gameparkgames.com and just stake. So you can. They have draws at 9 a.m., at 12 noon, and at 6 p.m. every single day of the week. So that will be it for this week's edition of Good Morning Ghana. But guess what? Dr. Kabiru eluded me. Apparently, today is his birthday, and he kept quiet all along. Nobody could find out, and he could only find out after he had left the studio. But we'll retaliate. So today is the birthday of Dr. Tia Kabiru Mahama, who was on the show with us. So happy birthday to you, Dr. Tia Kabiru Mahama. You share this birthday with Mr. Ernest Thompson, Mr. Ernest Kwashi, a former management member of Accra to Folk. He's 70 today. So happy 70th birthday to you, Mr. Ernest Kwashi, former management member of Accra to Folk, and also the Honorable Edmund Bauer, MP for Bongo. I've also been told that it's the birthday of my friend, Efi Akoto, former Deputy CEO of Maslock. Alpha, happy birthday to you. Up next, Metro Sports.